There everybody is. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, awesome day. Let's hit you with a little bit of this. We're going to blow it up and keep it real. All right, that's enough of that. Here we go. Um, this one's, you know what? If you're not a person of faith and you find this stuff offensive, you're welcome to hit scroll, do whatever. But this one, if you're curious, if you're a person of faith, if you're curious, if you want to know where my head's at, feel free to hang around. I'd love to have you hang around. If you've got comments, I'd love to see comments roll in. I'm really excited. I'm kind of jazzed, actually. So I've been volunteering with Crosspoint Challenge for 2 years, 2.5 years. I don't know. When I first started working with Crosspoint Challenge, it's a group of young adults that go to our church. Every Monday night they meet during the school year. They meet every Monday night. So there's a small group of leaders that meet on Sunday night, and we prepare. We meet, we fellowship, we talk about what we're going to do with the students. We call them students, right? They're college age kids, and what are we going to do with the students the next day? And then that Monday, everybody comes. The first year, there was 80, 85 people that came, and I was blown away. I remember thinking, "Oh my goodness, I had to move to Kansas to find a thriving group of young adults." Like I was in Southern California, you couldn't put 12 people in a room, 12-minded, like-minded people in a room. Like boom, but I come to Kansas, 80, 85 kids every Monday night. Boom. Last year, 120, 130 kids every Monday night. Now, does it help that, occasionally I serve up shredded pork tacos or something? Yeah, I'm sure that helps. I'm sure that helps. You offer some college kids some free tacos, they're going to show up. But for the most part, I have never, and I'm being serious, I have never seen a group of young people so focused, so clear-minded, so young people that are like, and here's a kicker. Here's a kicker just out of the blue. They could be engaged to somebody in the room, and their behavior is so on point, you don't even know it. You don't even know. I'm a grown man in the room, and I'll be talking to one of the girls. Perfect example, I was talking to Mara one night, and she goes, "Well, yeah, because me and Ben are going to get married, in July," or whatever that was. "Me and Ben are going to get married in July." And I was like, you and Ben who? You and Ben who? And she says, "Oh, Ben, the guy that plays the drums. I'm friends with Ben." I had no idea Ben had a girlfriend, let alone he was engaged and that the wedding was already planned. Had no idea. Why? Because they behave well. They're not hanging all over each other, laying across each other's laps in a room full of people. They're behaving like responsible people. And it's widespread. It's widespread. There's like 6 or 7 couples in this thing that I know about where they behave very well, very well. Well spoken, polite, high fives, handshakes, always happy to see you in public. Hey, Kurt. Hey, Kurt. Right? Boom. There's no weirdness. It's like so awesome. So first year, 80, 85 kids show up. Second year, 120, 130, right? Last night was the first night of the new season. Last night, first night, new season. Normally we meet in the worship center, and the center 2 columns is where these students use this space, right? And then there's like wings with other seats. Last night, we had to open up a wing. I would bet, I don't want to exaggerate because I could be prone to that. Some people were like, "Oh my God, I think there's 200 people here." I don't know that there was 200. Maybe there was 180, 185, maybe. They do a head count, obviously. People sign in and stuff like that. So the people in charge know, who's there, who's not there. But and it's not just people. Like it's not just people showing up. I hate the numbers game because then you get trapped, right? And I'm a numbers person. That's why I don't do missions work full time, because I'm too business oriented. I'm too marketing about it. Instead of being like for the cause, like spreading the word, I'm more like how many people, how many donated, how many, and it's too businessy for me. So I need to be a volunteer level. Okay. So When I look at this and I go, all right, last year we baptized something like 45 kids in this age group. The whole baseball team from the college came, you know, uh, I don't know, let's say there's 20 kids on the team. 16 of them came to church every week. It's like, wow, right? It's just, wow. So last night, place is packed. We do a small group thing where we have tables. Last year, we typically had 12 or 13 tables. And I just run one of the tables. I'm not a leader of this thing. I'm just a volunteer. And so I would typically like lead one of these tables. Last night, 20 tables. 20 tables. I thought they're going to have to put tables in the parking lot. I don't know what that means for the facility. I don't know what that means for logistics. I don't care what that means. To be honest with you, if 200 college kids want to come and hear the word and fellowship and grow in their faith, I'm 100% behind that. But let me tell you what's been going on otherwise, because the level of blessing that we're feeling right now, a little bit off the chain. So I was meeting with a client in person, one of my local clients. I was meeting with her a couple weeks ago, and sometimes you get overwhelmed, right? You just think to yourself, this person needs to talk about more than the website. This person needs to have a conversation. And that's touchy, right? Because you're in business and you don't want to lose a client. You don't want to alienate somebody. You don't want to. So I just said, hey, are you a person of faith? And she says, oh, absolutely. I said, well, can we have a real conversation then? Can we talk about more than just the website? Because I'm feeling like you've got a lot on your mind. I'm feeling like you're burdened by something beyond what we're talking about. And I'm here to listen. If you want to chat, I'm here to listen. And we ended up having a really good conversation. I ended up praying with her, kind of like over that hump. You know what I mean? Like trying to motivate her to even finish the project. Like, you know how life just gets on you, right? You're excited. You want to start a new project. You want to build something awesome. And you have these visions of like, this is going to be awesome. And as you start putting things together, no wonder I'm hot. The fan's off. As you start putting things together, you start to realize like, it's not as awesome as I thought it was. This is going to take some work. I wasn't ready for this. And that's the phase she was in. She was getting into that like, oh my gosh, I think I'm just going to stick a pin in this thing and call it done. I don't even want to finish the project. And I'm like, well, it's too late. You already paid me. You already bought inventory. You're running a store. Like you have to do it. Like God didn't bring you this far to fail. So sit and think about it. Like, don't think about it with your feelings. Think about it with facts and make a educated decision. Can you do this for the next 3 months? Can you give yourself 3 months commitment to see if this is going to be a win or a loss? And if you do it for 3 months and you put everything into it and it still ends up being a loss, your challenge then is to come away having learned something and not gone completely broke. Like right now, you're going to have 100% of the inventory. You haven't sold anything. You ordered a bunch of inventory, but you haven't sold any yet. So if you give yourself 3 months and you pour yourself into this stuff, you're going to sell something. You're not going to sell goose egg, right? You're going to sell something. You're going to recoup at least some of your investment back. Now, at the end of that 3 months, if you consider those sales to be momentum and getting you where you want to go, then decide, I'm going to double down. I'm going to really make this happen. Or maybe your sales suck and you barely break even and you're just like, you know what? It's not for me after all. Fine. Learn from it. What did you enjoy? What did you hate? What was overwhelming? What were things you would like to delegate next time? Because there's going to be a next time, right? People that are entrepreneurs, there's going to be a next time. Right. And we learn through failure. I've got a list of failures behind me. So trust me, I learned from each one of them and I applied myself. That's why I'm able to teach people now how to launch their own successful digital agencies, because I've done it the hard way. And so now I have the ability, the skill set to teach other people how to do it another way. James is with us again. I'm starting to wonder if James does any work. I think he just hangs out and waits to see if I'm online. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. The other thing, like I'm talking about faith and work, right? I'm talking about faith and work, my relationship with Christ. The all this is coming. So got the college age thing going on. I'm praying with this customer here locally, not locally, but kind of locally. Let me explain this one to you. Customers came to me 3-4 months ago, and they're from where I used to live. So they're partners. One of the partners went to Catholic school and went in like the same diocese that I was in. Not diocese. How do I say that? Like I went to Wyncote and he went to like Judge or something like that, right? So I think it's the same diocese but different school. I think that's how that works. I can't remember the terms, but and he's older than me, right? But we come from the same area and the same background. The other gentleman, the other partner, starts talking about Chalfont, Pennsylvania. Starts talking about all the dude. I used to ride my motorcycle through there. I used to go to dinner in Chalfont, a little place called the Oyster Bar. I had a crush on a girl that was a bartender there. She was way older than me. I was underage, and she was cute. Anyway, back to the subject. God just brings these people to me. And what's this project? This project is family office management. Now, they talk about family office management like everybody knows what family office management is. And you're watching me right now, and chances are you're going, what the hell is family office management? Trust me, don't feel stupid. I was there. So I was like, what's family office management? And then they have all these courses. And I thought, was this just a leadership thing? Because a lot of the courses I was seeing it was like leadership, like overcoming conflict. And I thought, okay, it's a leadership thing. And then it was like finances, how to keep your money away from Uncle Sam, how to trust your trust, right? Like how to manage the estate. And I was like, what is this? And they would talk like they're talking about businesses, but then they start talking about mom and dad and grandpa. And I'm going, I don't understand this. Like, it must be something. And then all of a sudden it hit me. When I was 19, I worked in a warehouse, 18, 19. And I was just a kid, not a kid of means. Had a very meager life growing up. I worked in the warehouse, and there was this catalog. One of the owner's sons came by. He was older than me, and he kind of threw the catalog down on my counter. He's like, hey, if you want to look at this, go ahead. And I was like, okay. And I was paging through it, and I was like, there's a bunch of kick-ass stuff in here. There was like stereos and fancy coffee makers and stuff, just weird stuff, home gym equipment, like stuff like that, just stuff. But the prices were better than Price Club. Price Club, for those of you that don't remember, Price Club was before Costco. So before Costco was Price Club. And I was like, these prices are better than Price Club. This is better than a purchased membership somewhere, right? And I can't even get one of those memberships. What's this catalog about? So my boss, Earl Rotenberry, this old dude, wonderful old dude, he's the only male I really credit with being a real mentor to me, like a real mentor for me. Not like one of those relationships where it's give and give and give and give and give and give and give. This was a mentorship like give and take. Like he gave, I took. Wonderful old man. He goes, Kurt, that's the way rich people stay rich. And I said, what? And he goes, it's like a special purchase club for rich people. Like rich people get these catalogs, then they order the stuff that they want. They get great prices, and it's like in their network or whatever. He says, but they buy a lot of crap that you probably wouldn't even want to buy anyway because you're too busy buying tomato soup in a can. And when he said it, it made sense, but it didn't make sense. It was like and I wasn't like a victim. I wasn't all like classist in my mind, then. But I was like, that's weird. How come they get a privilege we don't get? Like, that's kind of odd. And I was like, well, they do come from money. I guess they get what they get. Anyway, this family office management idea is kind of like that. It's like families, I don't want to say families of privilege, families of equity, families that have created a big business or a group of businesses, and they have a lot of assets. They've accrued some wealth. Well, part of the problem when you start to accrue wealth is, what are we going to do with this so Uncle Sam doesn't come and take a bunch of it? Like, you remember when Donald Trump was talking to Hillary Clinton And she was like, "You barely pay any taxes." And he's like, "You're absolutely right. I barely pay any taxes. And it's because of the laws that you wrote. I take advantage of the system." Someone needs to teach people the system. And that's what this family office management kind of thing is like. That's probably a really bad way to say it, because if you're not familiar with it, you're going to think I'm talking about scummy stuff. It's not scummy. It's, hey, this is how you manage buying insurance for a group of people in your family. This is how you buy investments, at a rate to protect your principal better. This is how you leverage debt to expand your corporation. This is how you set up a trust. This is how you, and so, and it, this course is huge. The course, it's not a course, it's courses. It is, oh my gosh, there's like 900 videos now. So it just keeps growing and growing. It's like, it's college level stuff. So there's already 2 or 3 colleges that want to take the training that's in this website we're building. It's called pfuniversity.org. pfuniversity.org. Here's where I'm getting to with the conversation for today. This job came to me months ago. I'm going to tell you that I get to lead prayer on this group call every week. Like every week that I sign in, they're like, "Hey, Kurt, can you lead us in prayer?" Yeah, absolutely. Right? Boom. They're all Christians. They're all fellowshipping. We pray for each other. We talk about business. We talk about strategy. If someone's got a problem, if someone's wife is ill, someone's daughter is sick, someone's going to travel, we pray for that. And that, to me, when you are doing business with people that you build that kind of relationship with, that relationship isn't going anywhere. If for some reason, the cost of hosting doubles and I got to go to them and say, "Hey, we have to increase the hosting," they're going to know it's legit and they're going to do the right thing. They're going to pay the difference in the hosting. If it goes the other way, right? Maybe there's some remarkable advancement in AI and it cuts the cost down by 50%. I have a relationship with these people. I'm going to be able to say, "Hey, great news. I'm going to be able to lower the hosting cost going forward this year." Right? And so that's what I'm talking about. When you have a great partnership relationship, especially one on shared faith and acknowledged, openly spoken shared faith, I think that is amazing. And so whether you are like Jewish and you're working with Jewish clients, or you're Muslim and you're working with Muslim clients, or whatever, having that similarity, right? You're able to bring things together. Now, here's what I find really, really interesting. And it's because I'm fine talking to anybody, right? I've got transgendered friends. I've got gay friends. I've got, black friends, white friends, Muslim friends. I've got all these things from my life. Does that mean that I agree with everything they think? No. And they don't agree with everything I think. That's for dang sure. We tend to avoid subjects like vaccination. So, my point here is, my faith doesn't prevent me from doing business and having relationships with anyone I do business with. But when I do business with people of faith, it really helps glue things together. For some reason, the communication is a little better. It's a little more friendly. It's a little more laid back. Like I said, when you pray with somebody, it changes the dynamic. When you pray with somebody, you share that moment. You really feel connected to that person in that moment, right? That's real relationship to me. The folks that run Hero Hub, I do the service training for the Hero Hub organization. They're mostly Mormon. Like the kids have all done their mission trips, and every time I meet somebody new, they're Mormon, Church of Latter-day Saints. We still all get along great, right? Do I have the courage to go in the mission field for 2 years and knock on doors and ride bicycles and wear a shirt and a tie? No. I envy them that do. Taking their faith that serious at that age, it's amazing to me. It's amazing, right? And think about how that does that. What do we have here? McSleeper Magoo. Kurt is the best to work with, and he still has his SoCal Disneyland adult instructional design friend, too. Michelle, you are such a sweetheart. Folks, this is Michelle. Michelle is an instructional designer who is amazing. She is the first person that I worked with in a graphic capacity where I would speak and somehow she made it appear. Like I don't know how that works. It's like magic to me. I'm not graphically talented. I tell everybody that. I'm very upfront about it. Um, I am not graphically talented at all. I can see the finished product and I can tell you if I like it or not. But that's we used to work at Suzuki, and it's hilarious because when we worked at Suzuki together, I got attached to a marketing project, and I remember the director of marketing. He was like trying to guide this thing, and I came out with a couple of samples. I said, "Well, here's a couple of samples that'll lead us down the path where we want to go." And he goes, "I really can't. I don't. I need to see the finished product. Typically, I need to see 5 or 6 finished products, and then I can let you know what I like, what I don't like, and what direction we're going to go." I said, "Whoa, hold on. You want me to develop 5 or 6 complete campaigns so that you can pick or choose what you like or don't like? Like, don't you know what you want? Like, you can't give me any guidance going in this thing. You can just tell me what you don't like. Everything I do, you don't like." I said, "What if we had someone creative run the team instead of a non-creative?" And then I didn't have to work on that team anymore. So that seemed to work out really, really well. Michelle didn't have to deal with that with me because I was very upfront. I said, "I suck at graphics. That's why you're here." And then, but her talent for, you could give her an outline, you could talk to her for 30 minutes, and then like a day, 2 days, 3 days later, she'd show you a storyboard that was like visually exactly what you said. It's amazing. She's amazing. I miss you, girl. Yeah, Oz right. Oz right. So, folks, that really kind of hammers where I was at today. I just wanted to share how thankful I was for the way I spent my night last night. I mean, to see all those kids show up from the college, and they're from around the community too. It's not just the college, but the mainstay of this mission is from the college. And tons of these kids showed up last night. Like I said, it's probably somewhere in the 180 range. At my table, I think I had eight or nine kids at my table, and 3 or 4 of them were new, first time there. And the energy and the connection and just it's all just so positive. It's hard to have a shitty day when the night before is that positive. When you when you're a person of faith and you see God just working in a whole generation, like people say like young people don't know how to work, or young people are rude, or young people don't know how to communicate, or young people don't. They need to come to one of these things. They need to come to where there's a concentration of young people that have their act together. Um, because when I work with this group, I see a real promise for the future. In fact, I'm looking to build a team for my digital agency with people from that group. Like I'm going to recruit from that group. I'm going to be like, "Do you like graphics? You can do this. Do you like databases? You can do this. Do you like, sales? I'll bring you on for sales. Come on in." I think there's a real opportunity for me to grow my business using the talents of these younger people that are inspired and committed to excellence. And Michelle says, "That was before AI. Now I'm a multimedia instructional designer who generates awesome content." Yes, you do. And you're here if you ever need me. I almost reached out to you last month. I came really close to having one I needed you for, but I didn't get the contract. The hard part is when you get those SCORM things, and then you're like, "Was it pre-existing SCORM content, or do we need to rework that SCORM content? Do we need to build just some new SCORM content?" One thing is cool, Michelle. I don't know if you ever tried one of these, but I just got a new Insta360 camera. And I'll tell you what, I think from communication and training standpoint, I think these cameras are going to change the way that we represent a lot of content. Really cool stuff. If you haven't looked into it before, looked into it. I just got the Insta360 X6. It's the newest camera. I never paid that much for a camera from my house before, but it's pretty cool so far. I'm making a lot of mountain bike stuff, so I wanted to make sure I got really good footage and make sure that I have everything in the frame. Because when I'm on a GoPro, when I'm on this piece of junk, I hate this camera. If I'm on the bike and I lean over, I look at the front tire. If I sit up, I look at the trees. If I, I never know that I'm 100% in frame. And if you use one of these 360 cameras, you're 100% in frame, and then you take care of reframing everything in editing, which is really cool. Folks, I'm going to call it done. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, I'm going to play our little bumper trailer here, and I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.